we are seeing is the exact same thing, but it's coming from people who claim to be part of the MAGA movement. Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, calling American workers lazy and stupid and anti-Indian racists of all things because they are saying no to the selling out of the future of their children. And it is so dispiriting to see this coming from the so-called right. And I think you nailed it, Rachel. These people do not believe in national borders. They don't know what a nation is. They don't know what it means to feel a sense of obligation, not just to our fellow Americans because they are our fellow Americans, but to people who have less than you. What happened to noblesse oblige? Elon Musk, you are the richest man in the world. You can't have a little bit of respect for the country and the people in it and the working class of the nation that gave you that privilege. You have no respect for the God who gave you that privilege. It is so utterly infuriating. And I'm so grateful to you and to Patriot Steve Bannon, our national hero, for towing the line and holding the line on this and saying, no, we will not sit here and cheer as they take good jobs away from Americans.
Yeah, this just keeps getting better. At this point of the MAGA civil war over their new president, Elon Musk, all we can do is sit back and remind them of what we warned them about. I'm just glad their national hero, Steve Bannon, is still barking as if he can beat the monster that he fed.
And some people, there have been some people, and as I put up stuff, I said, Steve, we have to have a group hug. You can't, no. This is central to how they gutted the middle class in this country. And we haven't fought these battles over years and years and years to allow American citizens of every race, ethnicity, religion be gutted by the sociopathic overlords in Silicon Valley. So no, David Sachs and Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, no, you're complete collapse and you're thinking, oh, we're just trying to reform it. We're just trying to have a conversation. We want to reform it. No, there's no reformation, no reform. We want it gone. We demand that it's gone, and we're going to fight for this. And not just gone. I've got another alternative. We want reparations for the tech workers that you stole their lives. You stole their lives.
Good luck with those reparations that you always ridiculed when descendants of enslaved people here made the case for it. You know, like the rest of the startled MAGA crowd, Donald Trump was this guy's cure despite his recognition of who Elon Musk is and what he finally pulled off.
Up crony capitalism and Elon Musk. And by the way, when we cut him off, he went begging the CCP, and that's why they have the joint venture in Shanghai, the Tesla, which is 100% of his value, right? This guy lives on government contracts and taxpayer subsidies, okay? It's all, we're going to get Joe Allen in here for a second to transform it. Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You are a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist. And you will go where anybody writes you a check, and you would take it from Adolf Hitler himself because you're taking it from people that are as bad as Adolf Hitler.
Notice how they clutched their pearls when Donald Trump was rightfully called a fascist and America's Hitler by his own vice president. But suddenly we're hearing words like reparations and Hitler from disillusioned MAGAs that thought their Lord and Savior only thrived off of hate for people that they hated too. Steve Bannon knew everything about Elon Musk, but thought Trump was somehow different. And now he keeps talking about fighting after shooting himself in the foot.
This is a defining moment. Some of the people say, oh, Steve, we gotta have a group hug. You can't do this and let the Democrats. No. We're not having group hugs. We're not having pats on the head. You got to get this straight. First off, you got to hey, I've said many times that Elon came and Elon's money helped organize the grassroots effort. In his engineering mind, he saw what the problem was as we saw it, and he supported it. And for that, he gets a place at the table. There's no doubt. You should. It's $250 million in June, not an entire cycle, in 5 months. But that dinner with Sachs and that check from Elon came at Biden's, when Biden, in the debate or right before the debate, and Biden, they kind of saw the numbers of where this thing was heading. They're recent converts, and we love converts. But the converts sit in the back and study for years and years and years to make sure you understand the faith and you understand the nuances of the faith and understand how you can internalize the faith. Don't come up and go to the pulpit in your first week here and start lecturing people about the way things are going to be. If you're going to do that, we're going to rip your face off. Because you can't beat us. We're not beatable. This army of the awakened is not beatable because we're relentless and we will never surrender and we will never slow down. And yes, if you go low, we'll go to the center of the earth.
He still can't bring himself to admit that it's not just Elon. In the middle of this fire and brimstone anger, he still thanks the guy for literally buying Donald Trump in the last few months of the campaign. And I don't think Bannon can't connect the dots to blame Trump for it. It's just that he won't have an identity anymore if he sets fire to the guy that gave him his purpose and then took it away. Just like he did when he booted him from his first administration. Remember that nickname, Sloppy Steve?
Interview with him a long time ago having to do with an article. But I don't know this man. I guess Sloppy Steve brought him into the White House quite a bit. And it was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job.
Here's the tweet if you missed it. This is from the president. He tweeted, I authorized zero access to White House, actually turned him down many times, Mr. Wolf, for author of phony book. I never spoke to him for book, full of lies, misrepresentations, and sources that don't exist. Look at this guy's past and watch what happens to him and Sloppy Steve. Of course, Sloppy Steve
is not you.
No, he's referring to Steve Bannon. And I was watching on Twitter this morning. People think of his nicknames that he has dubbed of people. That is a very effective one. That will stick.
Within minutes, it went to the top trending list.
Right, but as you know, the problem is he's been on the inside for the longest time. So if anyone wants to marginalize and say, well, there's another Trump hater writing a book, and what do you want? They're surprised because Steve Bannon publicly, prior to this book being released, which he fully cooperated with, it seems, has been in Trump's corner and said as late as yesterday that he's still going to fight for the Trump agenda and thinks Donald Trump is a great man.
Yeah.
I guess once a Trump footstool, always a Trump footstool. With this kind of track record, by Inauguration Day, Steve Bannon will be back singing the praises of the MAGA movement that was sold to him and the voters. He might even be willing to do another stint in prison to make his fake populist strongman look good again. So until then, the truths he keeps telling have been recorded, and they'll be getting played back from again and again.
You look at this, and that there's some racism over there. You white folks, go look at that. That's a Fox specialty. We don't fall for that. So don't think you're going to come back and, oh, you know what? Well, what we need to do is increase it here and cut that cost there. Screw you, you clown. And then you got to suppress us. Oh, they're, I don't know, blacklisting you, whatever they do. I don't care what they do on Twitter. I could care less. We're banned on every platform in the world, and this show is one of the most powerful in the world. Why is that? Because the content of the show resonates with the most powerful audience in the world. Working men and women that happen to be citizens of this great republic.